Okay. Gotta get through this part because we are only 2 Metroids short after we've gotten ourselves some
diamonds.
We can't touch any of them though. They're the ancient treasure. Oh God,
boy.
the beta has evolved.
God damn it! Now what are they? Now what have they become?
The Gammas?
I'm looking up what comes after. Yes, the Gamma Metroid. And it's basically approaching. Yeah, as you can already tell, we're starting to approach this full-on xenomorph territory now.
Yeah.
That makes sense considering Metroid was meant to be kind of like a play on aliens.
And oddly,
And again,
the odd thing is about the Metroid
red.
games. The best Metroid games are based off of the worst Alien movies, and yet,
Yeah, you got a point there. Fusion is based off of a Resurrection. Hang on. No, you don't.
and 3 is based off of and Metroid
Alien 3.
Super Metroid is based off of Alien 3. That movie's terrible.
Yeah,
I mean, you know what?
that's
Go
fun.
leave it to Nintendo to outright make better Alien movies than most of the Alien movies.
Just
This
watch.
phase, that phase sucks because the freaking green thingies keep trying to
There you
interrupt
go.
But yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's been like a bad Metroid game that was based on one of
Bam.
the good Alien movies.
I guess you could argue that Metroid 2 on the Game Boy was based off of Aliens.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Well, even then, the original Metroid 2 wasn't really bad. It was just archaic.
It's
Yeah.
very hard to pick up nowadays.
Of course.
Well, especially now that we have Samus Returns to fill the
And
void.
I don't know. You know what? Let's say this. I'm gonna claim that Other M is based off Prometheus.
But Prometheus is a bad film, isn't it?
But and Prometheus came out years later.
Okay, well, then no, Hype. I'm sorry. I don't think there exists something to your qualifications.
I was just
of a
asking.
good game based off a bad movie.
I was just
Unless
asking
we're
for
talking
I was just
about
asking for curiosity's sake, man. Devil damn.
that's fair. Unless we're talking about Haunted Mansion on the PlayStation 2, which is a good game based off a bad movie.
Let it go, man.
Okay.
You know,
Let's pull this
Logan
thing.
will never let it go.
I enjoyed the game.
He
that's all
he
that
is
matters.
one
I'm
of the
not- I'm not
two.
gonna-
He is one of the 2 advocators of that game that exist.
I'm not okay.
Everyone's got that game that they love that's super obscure. For me, it's Kid Clown and Crazy Chase. For him, it's Haunted Mansion.
That's fair. And I'll leave it at that. I'm not. If people don't like it, I will leave it at that. I'm not gonna pull. Do you guys hear about what the guy from Son of the Mask did?
Oh,
What
or are
do you
you
do?
talking about the movie called Hustlers?
Was it called Hustler? It may have been actually, but yeah, it may have been Hustlers. Yeah, basically, yeah, the guy who created. Let's open that one-way door. The guy who created Son of the Mask later made an entire movie based on film critics, literally, so he could just have a platform to argue why he thought it was unfair that his movie got dragged through the ringer when
Despite
it
the
just
fact
wasn't
that
that good of a.
yeah, it was a bad movie.
It just was a very dumb, hokey movie. It wasn't what The Mask was supposed to be. Couldn't be further from what The Mask was supposed to be, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, why bring Odin into all this? And Loki.
I don't know.
Well, to be
I
fair,
don't
like
know.
wasn't that kind of like a small detail that was in the first film?
Yeah, it was The Mask of Loki, I think it was called, or considered like that, or something. Let's see. And there. Now we are free to leave this area.
But I guess what led to part of the charm with the mask is that it was more so like you didn't even really get to see. That wasn't the part of the movie that people cared to see. The part people wanted to see is just the effects of the mask.
Right, and how it changed, and how it was an actual dangerous relic, and the idea, more so from the comic than more so in the movie than in the comic, but the concept that like
Man,
cartoon
wouldn't it be
physics
some
were
shit if
people's
if
power.
at some point we ever got a mask reboot that was far closer to the book?
I'm trying to think. Like, was the
Go
whole
ahead.
ties to Loki theme even a thing in the comics?
No, I don't think so.
No, they did actually mention Loki in the comic, yeah, but he never showed up.
The closest thing I can, I did actually look this up. You can look up footage of it on YouTube if you want. The closest thing I could find to like a movie thing of the comics is, it was a computer game, and it was a computer software. It was one of those things where, think of it like a fucked up version of the Disney read-along books. It was a computer software that like played some. It was just like a comic dub on YouTube, but in a computer game format that would. And I forgot who they got to play the mask, but he basically dubbed some of the comic panels, some of the comics themselves, and you could watch it like play out with the comic panels in front of you from start to finish.
Behold,
And for those that are watching that don't know what we're talking about, the Mass comic book series, at least for the first handful of years, was pretty fucked up.
Oh, terribly
Very messed
is
up. People
is
dying left and right. It was
Yeah.
it was basically one. I think it was basically Deadpool before Deadpool.
I
in
want to
some
say
regards.
Deadpool was out around that time.
Really? Let me look that up. Then.
Deadpool was out around that time, but that was back when he was in his whole...
Serious face.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was before he got the personality that's now widely associated with him.
Which I would honestly say could maybe be, chalked up to, like, certain quirks that the mask has.
So it all comes down full circle. Speaking of going
Yeah.
down...
Let's see what's next in our lore. So yeah, as you see here, when they were facing with the X-Parasites, they found one solution.
Make an X-Killer.
And that's what the Metroid was designed to be. It was designed to isolate and absorb energy so that the X-Parasite would not have a chance to duplicate or absorb itself. It would just be consumed.
Now, will anyone be willing to clean up this mess?
Not it.
Sorry, I'm busy.
Oh...
I left the oven cooking. I left the oven on. We don't have an oven. We're birds.
We don't have an oven. We're birds.
I thought we
I have to
agreed that we're vegetarian.
I have to go feed the kids. Excuse me.
I realize you're saying that. He just immediately turns and just immediately begins to... Anyway, so welcome to Area 5.
Well, that's how birds feed each other.
I know.
I know that's how they feed each other, but I don't like to imagine that's how Samus was fed growing up.
I mean, they never go into full detail on how her life was being raised by Chozos.
The only detail I know is the one that Awkward Zombie brought up, is that she knows how to crow when the sun rises.
I want to say Brawl and the Family did make a joke about how, like, she technically would be fed like birds when they... Like, they obviously didn't show the detail, but it's just like a Chozo going up to a nest, being ready to feed them, and Samus is just like, I hate this part of the day.
Now that you know what, real talk, I'm just suddenly thinking, like, what if part of the Chozo lore is that for a time they used to speak in bird, but Samus couldn't quite get the tongue right, but so it ended up just sounded like swearing.
You know what? I imagine, what if, like, because, like, they had their own bird language, like, Samus never learned to talk, instead whenever she tried to talk, she just sounded like a rooster.
Oh, you little fuzz biscuits!
It's just like, squawk,
That's
squawk, chirp!
Fucking just putting her arms going...
That's
Anyway,
one of my favorite
later.
recent gags in the new Mickey shorts. Is like when Mickey is literally mistaken for one of this giant bird's babies.
That's right, yeah, the giant eagle thing. She had to let...
And she was teaching them how to speak, and then it came Mickey's turn. It's like squawk, squawk, chirp, and then immediately the bird's like, ooh.
And they had to wash his mouth out with soap.
That was beautiful.
I'm just
great.
reminded of that one the one episode of Amphibia where Anne is cursed into being a bird and all that,
Oh, yeah.
and just
Oh, this is gonna suck. I have low mobility in here.
Yeah. Ouch.
yeah,
No.
she's
Woo.
cursed into being a bird, and that one was funny.
Super missile. There we go.
I'm so surprised. You know, all this time, like, we're getting so close to finishing our quota, and I'm surprised we still found at least a couple of alphas left.
Honestly, yeah, you think that, like, by the deeper we got, like, that's where all the heavily evolved ones, because they've been here the longest, technically.
And we haven't come across, like, the last formation that they turned into.
Yeah, no, that'll be much later. For now, we found the alpha, betas, and gammas, which the gammas actually may be my favorite, my most favorite to fight, because they have the least, like, amount of cheap attacks. It feels the most like
Well,
an
except for
actual
that
duel
green
between
thing
you
that
and them.
sometimes happens.
Yeah, but I mean, that one is just me being impatient. But like, there's not like waiting for things to whoa.
Whoop.
What
happened?
Look at that.
The last ion ability, and a pretty cool one at that. It's basically this game's equivalent to a speed booster.
The phase drift.
It doesn't quite speed. It's not quite like a speed boost as you would normally do it. Basically, the phase drift allows you to actually just slow down reality, or I guess what's really happening is you're speeding yourself up to the point where everything feels like it's moving in slow motion. I'll be right back because I actually want to go back there because that's actually very important to me.
You don't understand. This means a lot to me.
That's always the
Because
worst.
it
That's
is.
always the worst fucking thing, though. Whenever like a really good unlockable is super missile tank.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm. But I won super missile tanks because I only got 9.
Yeah, super missiles are very like valuable.
And I mean, it was right there. So yeah, I got this. Yeah.
You know, I miss how in Metroid Fusion the super missiles were literally just an outright replacement for your regular missiles.
Oh, that was cool. Well, because then you got the ice missiles, didn't you?
I
I'm
think.
talking about Fusion.
Fusion had the ice missiles.
Right.
But basically,
Like
but they still like the properties of the super missile just outright replaces the regular missiles.
That's right.
So
Yeah,
you
because
didn't have to worry about
like
you didn't have to worry about like
Yeah.
a separate fucking ammo count.
That's right, because it basically it was considered a stat upgrade in the sense of like now it basically gave it like a burst effect. It wasn't just a single point. It had like a shockwave to it. And
You're talking about the diffusion missile.
diffusion. Oh.
No, I'm just saying like the super missile just outright made your missile stronger. That's literally it.
Oh. Okay.
That being said, though, yeah, no, Fusion did play with a lot of liberties with how missiles usually worked, especially since that's the case where, in Samus's predicament, she really couldn't carry the ice beam, given that would literally hurt her.
Yeah.
Literally.
Oh, you know what? I just realized something. We're coming across one of my favorite covers that this game has to offer.
Oh.
This right here is a remix of what the game calls the Red Soil portions of Brinstar from Super Metroid.
Yeah, it's like in one of the early areas of the game, and this game. I'll admit, I wish that this game used a little bit more music from Metroid 2 because there is some good stuff here, but I think that they did a lot of fun nostalgic covers.
The only, to be fair though, the only song I can immediately remember from Metroid 2 was the the overworld theme, for lack of a better word, and that cover was just okay.
Yeah, I need a little bit more oomph to it, but for now, it's a really nice moody. Metroid has really good. Can't wait till we get to Super Metroid. It has really good ambient music.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And even then, my favorite song in the game is yet to come.
We'll get there soon. For now, we finally get something to deal with those green buggers. Plasma!
Oh boy!
Plasma.
I just love that
there.
we collect this little creature to get the plasma.
Yeah, I don't get... Again, that's a reference to the original. I don't know what it's supposed to represent, but yes, plasma.
Basically, this eats through enemies like hot knife on butter.
Yep, penetrates enemies and now can overcharge. And so this is our last beam upgrade.
Yay.
And look, your Buster's fully green now.
Yay!
I guess we're beaming with joy.
This will melt everything. It'll melt everything.
There we
on
go.
sight.
Thank you.
No, I think he just had something in his throat there.
Shut
And
up.
I'll say genuinely, now this thing can pierce enemies. We genuinely die.
Oh, come on.
We genuinely don't even need
The counter.
not even the counter. I was gonna say, oh, come on, get me up. Come on. Okay.
No, there
I
you
was
go.
gonna say whenever we're dealing with those swarms of enemies, we don't even really need to. Damn it. We don't even really need the hyper blaster mode. We could just use our normal spacer and plasma to clear them out.
Yeah. And yeah, no, like now that your beam's so strong, you don't have to really worry too much about using your counter too much, especially on the small fry. Like you can literally blast them in like two or three shots at most.
However, as is typical with this kind of game, the minute they make you feel all powerful and ready, they're going to start introducing stronger variants.
We can't let you stay powerful forever.
Kinda, yeah.
Gotta have some challenge, but yeah, here we go.
It's honestly not too bad in the long run. Like you're more or less decked out to so that a good handful of the opposition isn't going to give you too much trouble.
Pick on this one for now. Okay, so I do recall there being something I really want up this way, so I'll die. I just need to make sure to manage
I'll
my
die.
AI abilities. Okay, I gotta be careful.
Are you
'cause I'm
okay,
actually running
James?
out of... Oh.
I'm fine. Just a little tired is all.
Alright,
wrong?
I feel
I
like
messed this up.
my
I messed this
jokes
up.
are like
Damn it.
annoying you somehow, and I apologize.
No, you're fine. I'm just upset because I messed up that puzzle, and I used way too much of my... Oh, it's that little creature again.
Oops.
I used up way too much of my Aeon energy. I need to have some ready because I need to... there's an E-tank I want, but for
And
now I'm gonna...
believe you me, Matt, if I did start having a problem with your puns, I probably would have said so like years ago.
That is fair. I'll give you that.
Matt, this is an intervention.
Stop snapping people's necks.
Fuck
What
you
are you
and
talking
your
about?
fuck you and your interventions, motherfucker.
The pun is not...
So, who was your favorite Persona character again? The teddy bear?
No, he's not my favorite. He's just my spirit animal.
You like Morgana.
Not really. I'd say my favorite is.
Oh, forget about the dumb persona.
Shut the. Oh, fuck you.
No, but look, Matt.
No,
the
we're
first time ever.
now we're purple.
Now, this, I believe, was the first time the suit was ever introduced into the series.
Yes
Nope.
and no.
That was
yes and no.
that was still the. I actually no wait.
Yeah, Zero Mission I don't think had a gravity suit.
I
mean, Zero Mission did, but I don't believe the original.
No. The original game still stuck. Like the highest you got was the Various suit. I believe with the Return to Samus, it was still like the Various suit, but with the shoulder pads. Gravity suit was introduced with Super Metroid.
But the design and all that was introduced in this game.
So yeah, with the gravity suit, water now is nothing to us. It literally affects our mobility in no way, shape, or form, and I believe all damage from normal lava is even removed now.
I believe so. Yeah.
So yep.
Just be sure to never take it off.
Nope.
Something she failed to remember by the time we reach Other M, but that's another story.
We don't get why.
Because I have to respect Daddy Adam.
Other M is that there's got to be something where, like, okay, the Federation can't be to blame for all of that. Some of that's got to be a little bit on, fool me twice.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna say this right now. For what I immediately remember of the game story, like,
got it.
I know everyone has their beef with Adam, but at least a good half of the stupidity from that game comes from Samus herself.
Yeah, it comes from
disobey orders. Just go and blast things.
Yeah, it's like Adam did lay down the regulations, but Samus was the one that was dumb enough to follow them.
Not even just that. It's just that some of those she self-appointed to herself, like, not even keep putting on her Various suit, like the moment she got on the bottle ship.
Right, just you have it. You should be prepped and ready to go. Which, speaking of, yeah, it took us a little while, but we're finally in an area with some Metroid. So let's get to jumping.
Like, the only thing that Adam outright says she shouldn't have on her person was the power bomb. Everything else was more or less free game. It's just that, she wanted to play it safe. Though I think she played a little too safe in that regard.
Idiotically
She got cocky.
Yes.
She got cocky. Let's see what's around us. Okay, we're getting close to the edge.
Not cocky, more. I wouldn't outright say cocky. She just got too, what's the word?
Ow.
Stingy.
Oh, I see.
Or, you know what? No, frugal.
Frugal. Okay, yeah, I getcha. No. Die.
But yeah, no, like, we'll save the rest of our, tangents of that with Other Rem, like, 2 years from now.
I appreciate your sacrifice.
I mean, it's really, it's not even going to be that big of a problem, considering the game itself isn't really that bad. It's just the story that sucks.
Well, from what you showed me, the other thing to be wary of is that it's a little difficult because there are no E-tanks.
Right.
So you're usually stripped for health a lot of the time. Strapped for health, I should say.
How long is Other M compared to a typical Metroid game?
A little longer. But again,
really
that's mostly because of the story, and even then, I don't think like a good chunk of it you can't even skip. Son of a gun!
There it be. Screw attack.
Oh, Zappy Lightning Ball! How I missed you so!
Which, of course, combined with Space Jump, we are now a death machine.
Yeah, no,
Screw
we're
attack.
pretty much decked out, save for one last thing.
Yeah, you mean she wasn't a death machine beforehand?
I call her like a death Tinkerbot. But
Now I am Samus, Destroyer of Planets!
I mean, quite literally.
I mean, granted, it's actually...
It's a really good melee, I will say. Very good variety.
Usually when I have the screw attack, by that point I just say fuck the beams. I just want to jump around a la Sonic.
Pretty much, yeah.
No, what's that, Matt?
To be fair, she kind of she's destroyed multiple planets. Let's be fair.
What's funny is that she didn't even have that whole reputation until after Super Metroid.
And I like to imagine it's like she's not even she never purposefully activated the self-destruct. Self-destructs just happened to go off around her.
Yeah, like the very first one that gave her that claim to fame was technically Mother Brain's own fault.
Yeah, ow. Jeez. So yeah, as you're also noticing here, we're getting to the point where their armor is so impenetrable, literally only their chest or their mouth is the only way to actually deal damage to these things. Their exoskeletons are just too sturdy.
Didn't they have yeah, there you go.
No, I need to hang on. There we go. Ow, but don't let it bonk you on the way down.
Yes,
there we go. Gamma destroyed.
Mama!
And no, we're still not even at the deltas yet.
Before the end of this game, you may be thinking, do these Metroids even have a mommy?
Yes, it's called Mother Brain.
No, it's called Samus.
Well, only one of them is her. Well, only one of them she's the mom to.
More on that later. For now, continue moving up through the ranks. Oh, I'll gotta go a little bit lower here. So, Matt, I'll say as far as the exploration, or maybe even going 100% completion, if you try to do that, what were your thoughts on how this game like handled the, movement around?
Pretty well. I really like it. I think it has the best free-flowing movement in the series, in my opinion. Like, just downright the best.
Well, it's definitely responsive, and I do think that, again, had I known all that I could have done with the controllers, I could have like really pulled off some really fun, flashy movement, like more than you would think a handheld game could handle.
I will say, I do still think that, I would say for what it's worth, Zero Mission sort of edges it out in that regard, but this game's a very close second in terms of mobility.
I do want to ask,
Fair.
like, what would you say a Zero Mission has that you feel like this game sort of lacks?
I mean, Samus in that game is a fucking speed demon. If you've seen our old commentary for it,
That is true, like because it was sprite-based. Things, just in general, things moved faster than it did in here, and especially in Super Metroid.
yeah.
But
that and most if not everything you fight, you could more or less take out in one fell swoop. You didn't have to worry about stunning them first before giving them a sudden blow.
That's fair, which is why this commentary is going to be a little bit longer than that old one. So-
Not by much, really. Like, actually, I think they're both roughly the exact same length.
Oh, all right then. Well, join us in the next part as we're gonna go a little bit lower now that we as soon as we find those other Metroids, those darn pesky Metroids.
Jeez, how low can we go?
Limbo.